Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. That music is a little bit louder than I expected, and I did adjust my volume. Oh, you know what it is? It's just that for some reason with the new setup, YouTube just seems to be a little loud. There we go. Okay, perfect. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Good? Good. What was that?
Great. I forgot to open the game.
Oh.
Yeah, me too. I just opened it.
Wow. You guys can tell that here over on twitch.tv/Daelric, the Throne Keeper crew is very excited to play the game. Very excited.
I am very excited to play the game.
You know what, Doxy? You know what, Doxy? Doxy and Josh? Will, you can have all the successful rolls today. I'm giving to you all the
Thank
luck
you.
of the dice. You know, that's how it goes.
I'm so excited that I actually put it Throne Keeper in instead of Roll20 into my address bar there.
That's funny. So, well, thank you, Doxy. So, you guys have.
Oh yeah, I am crystalline today. This is good. I get to play crystalline.
Oh yeah, because
why I have all the good rolls.
You guys have to
this
flip your.
explains everything.
You guys have to flip your cameras. Usually Doxy's first or whatever, but yeah, there you go. Yep, and there we are. Good job, everybody. We're here. Yeah. We're all here. Everybody's good. All right, perfect. So, everybody have a good week. Everybody have a good day at the very least. Even if your week sucked, did you have a good day?
My day was amazing. I had a very good day today.
You have a lightsaber aimed at your face right now. Does that make you nervous?
Not even a little.
Oh!
So she definitely didn't hear the comments we were making before we went live. Will.
I didn't. No.
Yeah.
No.
She had us muted because there were some comments. But either way, your microphone looks beautiful. Your microphone looks beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think its positioning is amazing. It's good. Good microphone. What is it? What model? No jokes.
Me too. It's an RE20.
Yeah, it's an Electro Voice RE20. Mm-hmm. Very pretty microphone. Genuinely one of the best microphones you can buy. Just period.
Nice. I'll check it out
for
later.
For voice work.
Yeah,
specifically.
Of course.
Yeah, you know.
Did you have a good day or week there, Josh? Did you have a very happy birthday on Monday? Hey, may the 4th be with you.
Monday. Sorry.
Yeah. I had a grown-up birthday where it was a normal day, and you get a cake at the end. So it's good.
I don't even get that last bit. I'll be real with you. That last bit just doesn't happen for me anymore either. So.
I mean,
I always go to the bar and make my friends buy all my drinks.
Well, my grown-up birthdays, I mean, I have never worked on my birthday. I always take that day off for work, so that's like my one selfish me moment. Like, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna take it. So it's like the out of the ordinary thing. And if my family's not around, I will stream. If they are around, I will spend it with my, family, because I do love them.
I do always stream on my birthday. I do always stream for my birthday, but
it's fun. It
I
legitimately is fun.
Celebrate it like the weekend closest to it. I like to spend time with my chat on my birthday. I don't have a child, so.
Would you like one? Look a little bit to your left. One may be provided. Oh God, this is gonna get. We're already stroking TOS. We can see here. So, Will, did you have a good day?
I'm just glad today's over. I'm done working for the week, which is just great. So now it's just, I'm done working my day job for the week. I got more work to do this weekend, but yeah. No, that's good. I had a burger and a milkshake and fries for dinner, treating myself. So
there you go. Hello. Dude, a milkshake and a burger is like literally it's like a secret to happen. Don't have it too often or it loses its value, but it's like like a good milkshake. It's like,
yeah.
Is it like
I haven't had one in quite a while, so it was just it was a good treat, and it's from a place that like just opened back up again. So,
okay, cool. I was gonna say it's like a mom and pops or like a chain.
It's more of a mom and pops. Yeah.
Cool, nice, good for you. I'm glad you got to enjoy that. So funny little thing, just because Josh was just before we went live complaining about New England weather. So I shoveled today 12,000 pounds of rocks to fill up the fire pit that I made. We finally made it, and I got to enjoy a fire before the stream. And I won't lie, it was an amazing ending of a very hard day. But what I realized, shoveling 12,000 pounds of rocks, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to like flex or brag. I'm saying, oh, shut up, you. I'm saying because it's literally like shoveling through a blizzard. It's like the same exact. If you live in New England, you know what I'm talking about, or Michigan for people like John, right? Windborne.
I also am very aware.
Yeah, right. Like you're shoveling a blizzard. If you're the only one shoveling like a bunch of walkways, driveway, and stuff like that, an entire blizzard, just out there time after, you're like, this is. I won't even lie. I thought I was going to be more exhausted than I am. Doxy, I'm telling you, it's the same thing as being like, fuck this blizzard. It's only that hard. I was like, wow, blizzards really suck. I never realized how heavy all this snow was. Josh, when you moving up here, man?
Snow is really heavy. Snow is a lot heavier than you'd expect it to be for how
Right?
like fluffy it is.
Because you're like, oh, it's so cute and fun. Ha! Make some angels. And then you realize why you have herniated discs at 32. Josh, when you moving up here?
Yes, I missed it already. Well, I passed 32, so I'm good. I don't have to worry about it now, right?
Yeah,
That's how it works.
definitely.
That's how it
For
works.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're
It is a
immune.
beautiful sunny day here in Victoria. It's currently, hold on, I can tell you. It is currently 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh no.
It's
That's
beautiful
horrible.
and sunny and
That's
warm.
so cold.
To be fair, I live on the water pretty much. So like this is like Pacific Ocean breeze coming in.
It was like 64 today,
yeah.
and I was sweating like a good third of the day. I was like gasping for air, sweating.
64
Like,
is
oh my
actually
god,
a
it's
little
so warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, during tonight, it was.
64
Are you
is a little
kidding me?
warm.
Like,
Beautiful weather. I love it when it's 60 exactly.
oh
I mean,
no,
so
I hate
that's
life.
17. That's 17 Celsius is what it is right now. Which I'm much more comfortable in Celsius. I really like around 10 degrees Celsius, which is like that's my ideal temperature
It's like
range.
40 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
I can tell you in a moment. It's
I think it's
50.
I like-
yeah, it was
I like
50,
50 to
yeah.
60. The 50 to
Yeah.
60 range is
I won't. Like, I'll be a little bit more broad than that. I would say a good 50 to 70, like because for different
70
activities,
is
for
way
different.
too fucking hot.
But no. But 70 degrees with an overcast is actually not so bad because the sun's not beating on you, right? But like 50 degrees like a sunny day is actually quite nice because the sun like warms you up, but it's not too ambient warm, you know. So it's like depends.
Yeah.
Hey Josh, you know how in martial arts one of the things that they do is they do a lot of like practice, like sparring and stuff like that, and they do like the old martial artists that like hit you a bunch of times over and over again with like sticks to like toughen you up. Welcome to New England.
Me? Oh.
You're
What?
gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
You're fucking
You'll
too.
be
Oh, I know. I'll just get fatter. I'll just be a seal. I'll just be a seal right here. Just like, hey
But
guys.
you do realize there's less blood flow in fat tissue, so you actually get
Yeah,
colder
you-
easier.
Look, don't science it up. All right. Don't ruin it.
Okay. well,
No, I was just thinking. I was like yesterday. I put the pool out. Like I had this little blow up pool for my daughter, and it was beautiful. It was like 88 now. It was awesome. I was just sitting out there. You guys are all like, no,
What is
20
it?
degrees.
That's 31. 31. That's way too hot. That's like I want you to know that's like hotter than it's ever been here. Genuinely. I think. Hold on.
my wife and I were talking about moving to Prince Edward Island. Yeah, I said it right. We were like, oh,
I
we
didn't
should
even
totally
know what that was until a couple weeks ago
Okay.
when Josiah and Will educated me.
Oh yeah,
What,
Prince
Prince
Edward-
Edward?
Actually.
Yeah, I had
it's
no
left off the
idea.
maps a lot. It is not the hottest temperature. The hottest temperature that's ever happened in Victoria is 99.7, but that was in 2009. And
The
then-
height of the aerosol craze.
Yeah, basically. So since then, the hottest recorded temperature in the last 10 years has been 93, which is not as bad.
It's too much. No.
I mean,
That's
to
That
be
is so
fair,
beautiful.
that's 33 degrees Celsius, which is way too fucking hot for me. I will
It
be real
is
with you.
too hot.
Same here.
But that also
Unless
like
it's a very windy day. Like if you're talking about
Yeah.
93 degrees and it's like you're
Even with
over
wind,
near
fuck
a
your
windy
safety
beach.
points. I'm not having it. No.
No, because
no.
because
It
there
happens
are
all the time.
there
too.
are
It's
exceptions though.
superhuman.
There are exceptions that Doxy, as a rule of thumb, I agree with you probably across the board when it comes to weather. But there are exceptions. There are times when 0 degrees is like one of the nicest, like 0 degrees Fahrenheit is one of the nicest days. Like 0 degrees, no wind whatsoever in the middle of the night on a crisp winter evening, going for a walk like 1 a.m. Oh my God, it's magical. It's
Yeah, I
it's
like
Santa
cold
who
weather.
pops out of the snow and blows you. It's amazing, right? But
so. I mean, I don't want to brag, but the average temperature in Victoria is 55 degrees across
Yeah,
from
that's
now through August.
amazing.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time on the water in the summer. Like we go up. There's a bunch of rivers that run down basically the length of the island. You can go up and go to Tofino and do surfing over on the Pacific coast. It's great. It's a good time. Water sports.
I don't think I would get in the
you know.
water at that temperature.
Josh,
I will be
for the
honest with
first
you.
12
Good
minutes of that, we weren't even live. We were live
Sure,
without sound.
sure.
I've been recording
Excuses.
for 10 minutes and 37, 38, 39 seconds. Thank you very
There you
much,
go.
sir.
I had to suggestively stroke my mic and talk about Satan farts. So,
It's true.
Josh, if you could just cool your tool, thanks.
Yeah, we would really appreciate it, Josh, if you stopped ruining it for everybody else.
Sorry.
Hey,
Why we
Will,
can't have
Will,
mic-
can you do me a favor?
Oh, I love you. I'm
Can
sorry.
you take
I feel
your
so
microphone
guilty. I
on
hate
your
that.
boom arm
Please
and
never
kind
do
of
that
pull it
again.
into frame so we can make Josh feel a little left out?
So here's the thing. I actually don't have a boom arm. So I'm currently using a desk stand
Aw.
microphone.
That's okay. Still do it. Still do it.
Yeah. All right. Here you go.
Let him know.
There you go.
Here, I'll
Josh,
just
Josh.
slide my camera over just a tiny bit. There. Hey guys.
Here, hold on. I'll just hold this the whole thing. It's fine. You know, I mean, I've done stand up before. I've done live stage work. This is fine. I can hold a microphone for 4
So
hours.
what's the deal? No, I'm kidding.
What's
All right,
the deal
I'm gonna
with
put
I
the
was
cabbage?
imagining like the Frank Sinatra cradle.
Oh yeah.
Can you get us can you hit us with some Frankie notes there,
And then I
Will, before we go
saw-
live?
No, absolutely not. I'm a terrible
No?
singer.
No?
Terrible singer.
I don't know. You got a pretty good range. When you get into that Oscar graveling voice, it's pretty impressive.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, use
Oscar's
Janis
sexy.
Joplin rules. Just hit the notes. It does not matter the technique.
Seriously,
All right, well,
seriously,
you know.
Oscar is sexy.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You know,
I
I like-
appreciate that. You know, he's
Not
designed
Will.
to
Not
be
Will.
no, he's designed to be everything I could never be. So
Masculine.
there we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Intimidating. Yep.
Yeah.
Tall.
I am
Yep.
taller than him though, so that's a thing.
Damn it.
Yeah, I also weigh more than him. So
Wait,
you know.
really?
I
yeah.
don't know. For
So
y'all that
your
don't
stats are
know,
wrong.
No, he's 200 pounds of just muscle.
How tall is he? Sorry.
He's 6 foot tall. He's 200
Oh, okay.
pounds.
200. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That actually
I'm
makes sense.
I'm 6'4" and 220 pounds. So
I'm an inch shorter than him and 10 pounds more than him. It's all love, though.
there you go.
So, anyways, you good?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, I don't know what he's giggling about, but why don't we recap what happened last session? I thought last session was actually an awesome session. I really appreciate
No,
it.
Emily, you're a dick. All right. It was no, it was Lily. Lily, you're a dick. You're a jerk for killing Lily. I don't know. I was
If
playing
you can't see
Stardew
me,
Valley.
if you can't see me, you can't hurt my feelings.
Ooh.
You can't see me.
I mean,
can't
That
that's
is
something
a
you're gonna
big,
learn is
dumb
false.
doo-doo head.
I mean,
Dude,
you are what you eat, right? So,
Oh my.
anyways, so why don't
Don't
we
tell your wife that. God.
why don't we recap what happened last week? I mean, you guys actually got progress done. You didn't just stick around the outsides, insides, outsides, and insides of the same town over and over again, making greater mistakes. You went to a new town. At that new town, you discovered that, well, on the way you discovered that the leader of that place was, dead. And he was kind of a dick. He ran both the slave operation, which is legal here, for kind of like the region, but predominantly just in this town. He, what was I saying? He also had one of, if not the greatest, fishing company on this large lake. So again, one of, because he's the greatest in the city, sure, but there are other cities of prominence as well, or large towns of prominence as well on the lake. But unfortunately, he died. So Hugh drafted up a really, really, really well created fake will of his, more or less saying that legally binding Doxy becomes the executrix of the estate, appointing where the various assets of the estate will go to, and so on and so forth. Things didn't go as smoothly as you hoped. Unfortunately, you guys didn't realize that there were a couple of, you believed, Perrin soldiers in disguise that were also maybe a part of this whole ring of collecting wands and scrolls and everything happening that were inside the estate. things got, unfortunately, fiery fast. The 2 guards that you brought with you to try to keep things relatively calm were killed. Some nameless NPC was killed, and you guys took a
She
little
had a
bit
name. It was Lily, and we're having a funeral for her today.
Oh, you sure? She already went on the pyre. And you guys got a little burned yourself, a little singe, and Doxy got to have a really good motherly moment with the various peoples that were there, and it went over very well. I actually thought that the session went pretty smoothly in the end. So
I'm going to ruin this world that you've invited me into.
Oh, wow.
So, that was genuinely intimidating. I won't lie about that. Usually it's like,
I have a
oh,
high
Doxy.
charisma score, bud.
Oh, man.
Queen Chris Ellen right there. There you go.
Queen Chris? No, she can be King Chris. King Chris. That's okay.
Empress.
Empress Chris? So, anyways,
why do you ruin good things?
I mean, that's what I did to my wife. So,
I mean, he's not wrong.
She was an amazing woman, and she met me. So,
I'm just waiting for a pillow.
Yeah, I'm eagerly waiting for something to come in.
She only heard you last night because she just, by sheer coincidence, happened to be doing laundry, which is like 2 rooms that way in the basement. You know what I mean? Because the basement, usually I'm the only one down here who hangs out in the basement. This guy. So, anyways, so, what was I saying? Where things left off, you guys were obviously in the house. You had your kind words, whatever. I don't think there's anything left for that specific evening that you needed to take care of. So we could almost kind of pick
We
it up.
needed to talk to the guards. We sent
Sure,
somebody for guards.
Then that's correct. My apologies. I did miss that detail. You did specifically send somebody to go collect a guard to report, obviously, these dead guards, so on and so forth. So then, flashing forward a little bit of time, maybe 45 minutes or so, there's nothing specific your characters needed to say or do with one another.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Laszlo would ask Chris Ellen. He would pull her aside and say, Chris Ellen, do you still have that seed?
Yeah.
That seed of life. I don't know what it would do just yet, but I know it can return life or give life. Maybe for a short period of time, but I don't know. If I can study it more, we might be able to help Lily.
Only should we do this if we find out that it restores more than just her life.
Yes, bring her back whole. I understand.
I will not have her suffer again.
Okay, I will study it tonight then. That's it.
And she'll hand it over to you so that you can like compare it to illustrations and stuff.
So you take it. Like I said, like 45 minutes or so pass. It's not that there's like, oh, guards are so hard to attain. It's just that the house is pretty removed. You know what I mean? It's up on the hill over by the lakeside. It's so late in the day that it's not like there's a lot of people down by the docks and whatnot, which you could oversee from. Would you guys actually do any rounds in the estates beyond just being inside the house with the servants? Oh, the meeting area.
I would wait for guards.
The meeting, you guys actually had the evacuation point being over by, so just describe that area. The entertainment space on the outside. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous patio. We're talking, had a, it had a literally like a shuffleboard area, an area where you can literally have things like chests and whatnot set up out there. Stone, what are they called? Like pavers, kind of like set everywhere. Nice like stone seating. We're talking, this is something you expect at an estate far greater than this person's for the quality of outdoor entertainment that's here. Especially when you go inside the estate and you're like, wow, this looks like hell. Like it's shambles and wallpaper's peeling and whatnot and cracks in the walls and everything inside there. So just to point that out. And you can also see out here that it overlooks very well the lake and everything beyond, so you can easily kind of like see the goings-ons down by the docking area. Even if it's far enough removed, you can barely hear anything down there when it's bustling. And you can easily see like what the goings-ons in the actual lake itself. One other interesting piece is you can literally see him. It would probably take a moment for Chris would probably identify it quicker than either of the other two. But there's actually a little like an anchored spot into the ground where there's a pole that comes up and kind of like a wise off, and it almost looks like something that frames into place. And you know that very likely what you would do, you wouldn't leave something like this outside because the quality of equipment is very expensive, is you would actually be able to take out there and put like almost like a telescope or the like in there and be able to like look out and watch what's going on in the lake because of like the where it's designed and set up, so you can actually see things going on out in the lake and kind of keep an eye on, I suppose, business. Maybe that's what they'd be looking at.
Business. This creepy dude. Yeah.
He was a fisherman.
I also don't forget when we ended, Chris Allen talked one of the servants taking me to the library, to the office.
That is right. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the books that were used.
So when she brings you
they
up
just
there,
told us. She just told us about like it was messed up, and then she was in there cleaning, left, and came back, and it was like disordered.
that was actually very important information. Thank you, Josh. So when you were go up there to check that out again during this 45-minute period that you wait for the guard to show up, when you go up there to check it out, they were like, "I'm so sorry, I don't remember which book it was. It's gonna be in like this area. Why do I keep getting signed out? Because I'm currently signed into another device. Some Zoom device keeps signing me in." And
Did you give somebody else your credentials to use a pro
Neil.
account?
Neil is the only. But then again, I also have like 7 devices with my Zoom account already logged into it.
Are you in a conversation, like a work one, that maybe it might be someone might accidentally enter?
No, I don't usually host them for work. I usually just join them. Neil's the only one with my credentials, and that boy is sleeping right now. Either way, so I think Neil's the only one. Yeah. Because Ollie doesn't use it anymore. All right, moving on. Yeah, the when you go up there to check it out, they're like kind of in this vicinity over here, and they're more or less, because it's actually a decently stocked office library. Now, just a quick glance at the titles of the books here, you're getting the impression you don't know this guy from the hole in the wall. You've never met him. He's literally been dead since before you ever heard his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from what you understand of him so far, these are very much books for decoration and not books for actual use or having been read. That's kind of like what your impression you're getting just by looking them over. And the higher up ones are dusty, which means either lower quality servants or he just never noticed or cared because he doesn't use them. She gestures towards like a general vicinity that could easily be 100 different books. For you to kind of like parse through those and find out what it might be that you're looking for, that is going to be an intelligence investigation, I think. Or is that a perception investigate? Where's that investigation? Oh, it's communications investigation, so it's going to be intelligence.
Is it an investigation? I thought investigation was
It's
for
communication.
We were
unfortunately.
using
Research.
We were
You can do research
Yeah.
here.
Oh, hey, I gotta focus on that now.
gonna say for a lot of the other stuff that we were doing that was investigation related, we were using perception tracking, which doesn't really apply here. But
The height of 5'6" is actually the first book that you find, Josh.
Yeah.
The height of 5'6" is one of those things where your character and you in real life look at that book and go, if only one day I could reach that, I could aspire to that greatness.
So 17, punk.
So with the 17, looking them over and her kind of pointing it out, you don't just do this alone, right? She's there having a conversation with you, like, what's this for? Do you know what this is? Does he ever use this book right here? You see this? Kind of like that sort of a thing, but you don't really have to rely on her too much because most of the stuff you can kind of like, if you don't know what it is by title, you can, or there isn't a title, you can open it up, flip through it, put it back. Eventually you come across a book that catches your attention because it's a book that doesn't have marking on it. That doesn't stand out. There's a lot of books here that don't have a binding onto it. But when you open it up and you flip through, it immediately opens up to a specific spot. A spot that has several pages ripped out of it.
Oh, that's ominous. Okay.
So you're like, oh, there's several pages ripped out of this spot. Nice. So it looks like they were kind of cut out, but somewhat sloppily cut out. Seeing that, you can kind of actually look through the pages that are behind it, and you can pretty quickly tell that there is a manifest here.
Oh, for like their shipping, right?
Correct.
Ins and out.
Now, mind you, he is of course running two businesses, right? He is a fishing business, so the catching and the selling of fish, and he's also so technically that's three businesses: catching, then selling, and slaves. The buying and selling of slaves being another business.
Yeah, well, 4 because there were parallel people here, so he probably has a dirty business.
But you don't necessarily know why they were there. The servants didn't seem to know why they were there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, okay. We know that they were coming in and out though. So
Yes,
maybe he
correct.
was a trafficker. Maybe it was like an underground railroad or something. All right, so I'll take that, and I don't know.
With your 17, after finding that one, you'd be able to find other books similar, like, okay, this is the way he does his ledgers. Okay, this is slightly different. You'll be able to grab a few of those different books and collect them, but not necessarily find any. It's too short of time for you to find anything.
Yeah. I'm getting the evidence in 45 minutes. All right, so I'll just keep looking until the guards get there, and I'll head down and I'll talk to the rest later after, depending on what happens with the guards.
You can almost imagine at some point in time when the guards show up, Chris Ellen says, "Could one of you please go and get Laszlo upstairs?" And they would come up and get Laszlo, and like, "Oh, Laszlo." So it's just kind of like we can go run with that for their arrival. So when the guards do show up, it is very much a funny to knock on a door that's not working. Chris Ellen here? No, that's not the name you gave. Luthera.
I gave Luthera.
Yep.
Luthera.
Luthera here.
Yes, Luthera. Hello.
We were told that you were the one to speak to about apparently the assault and murder of a couple of guards and
Terrible business here. These two. And she'll kick one of the parents.
You see the 3 guards come walking in. Of the 3 guards, 2 of them are actually like you can clearly tell these aren't just like basic guards that you bumped into. They definitely have a decorum and everything to them that shows they're well-trained guards. These are people that would be like solving problems. And then the one particular one that you happen to be talking to, so a quick look over tells you this is one of the people that's probably, if not a captain of the town, probably a lieutenant or something. Definitely somebody who's more cerebral, we'll say, than the others. Go ahead.
These two were casting magic from above. This one from the door. And I'll give it a brief rundown of what happened. Like, we showed up, it was suspicious, we left, we came back. You'll note that we have a room at the inn. And I'll hand over the will for him to look at and say, this one was one of the house staff, and we'll be holding on to her.
You gesture towards the house staff and say that, and they barely look down at. It's one of those like, oh, there's a table there. Kind of like looks down and back, and says, "So, can you take me to the room with the 3 that did this?"
Well, you're standing where one was active, and if you'll follow me.
Okay. And they follow you into the room. And kind of like when you go in there, you can of course point out certain details, the stuff that you had probably noticed beforehand, and they look them over and actually start like actively searching over the bodies, looking at stuff and so on and so forth. After, they don't really interact with you beyond maybe little things that you would say to them. It's kind of one of those
Well, I would offer coffee and like if they've had any supper or whatever.
Sure. And again, it's very much a no, while they kind of go about their business. They just seem to be very much focused into doing the 2 guards died, so they're not being very friendly. It would take like a little effort to get them to open up a bit. And so after they're done kind of investigating,
it's effort that Chris Ellen would take, by the way.
Sure. Then
Wants
if you would like
to be on their good side.
Of course, if you want, you can actually roll me a communications check to try to be charming.
I'd also give her all the evidence I collected, the remnants of the scrolls and the wands and stuff like that.
You can say, and this piece of turnip right here was integral in stopping the fires.
Integral was the correct.
Integral.
Just a flat communication.
Emphasis, syllable. Correct. So again, it's not that the guards find you to be an annoyance or anything like that. They're giving you just busy at the moment responses. You know what I mean? Because obviously, again, 2 guards died. Like, it's not like, oh, we're investigating a typical murder. This is a nice lady being nice to us. No, that's my friend and he's dead. So I'm kind of busy right now. You know what I mean? So once they're finished their investigation, looking over that stuff, and this isn't quick either.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I have an ability. I can re-roll that.
Sure. How
I
often are
just
you
have
allowed
to
to do
take the
that?
second. I just have to take the second roll. Let me look at it. I'll read it out loud to you really quick.
Yeah.
I'm
Usually
so
once.
sorry.
I keep thinking there's a bunch of burned stew on the ground because I used the stew.
Yeah.
What is it? Stew? That's kind of like spirit. So like most of the liquids kind of like seep through the floor cracks. You'd imagine it almost look like vomit. Like late night party vomit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because just like gelatinized like remains of the.
Little chunks
Lots of
potato
carrots.
and
Yeah.
carrots and yeah, tomato probably. Who knows what's in there?
You ever see that Sinbad the cartoon movie? They eat like lots of eggs. It's like, and whenever they vomit, it always looks like carrots. Like, why is there always carrots? I don't even eat carrots. It's funny.
Okay, I was wrong. Only with etiquette or persuasion can I re-roll.
I would argue that this is etiquette. By the way.
I also would argue that this would be considered etiquette. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
But how often are you allowed to do that? Sorry.
Oh, I just get to any time.
Yeah, it's the same as my
I just have
arcane
to
one.
take
Same
the
as
second
same as
roll.
mine as well for the
Wow.
stamina.
This
Yeah.
game
You
is so
have to
easy.
take the second roll
yeah.
though.
Hold on,
Yeah.
You
Doxy.
have to take it.
Doxy, you clearly won, and you won 4 with a communications check.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No,
check
it's
with them.
not the time.
Definitely. Well, I'm not gonna be overt about it.
Okay.
But I'm definitely like the body language, right? She's gonna like her chest will always be facing him, and like she'll be very delicate in her movements and maybe play with her hair a little. And she'll also be complimenting the dead soldiers because she was fond of them, and they did do like what they could.
Okay.
And just be like, they went out bravely, and we're forever indebted to them. Please let me know of a service.
Okay. Absolutely.
much
And
like to
again, you
attend.
are successful, so you do win them over. So when you're offering the things like the coffee and whatnot, they actually do accept it. It's one of those things, and
I would
it
very
does.
politely ask one of the staff to go grab.
Of course. And it does actually, for a different reason than if you had rolled less than that 10 before, for a different reasoning, it caused one of the other guards to inquire, be like, you seem rather comfortable here. Did you know him well?
I did. I've spent many nights here.
You could imagine like that kind of like leads to a side conversation where you kind of explain yourself further, kind of like planting more seeds of your fucking deception. You did not know him, Doxy.
I know I did.
You're not going to inception us. You can inception chat, but not us. Okay. So anyways, you, after their investigation's done, and again, it goes over much more amicably than originally I was describing, they come to the conclusion, they come to speak to you. It's like, can we have a conversation? Perhaps you'd like to sit.
I would.
He goes and he
I
sits
wouldn't
down.
say anything either. I would just sit and fold my hands in my lap.
So when you finally go to sit, he's kind of like, so obviously there's these 3 gentlemen that are upstairs that we all can come to an agreement that they most likely are Perrin. Now, seeing a couple of Perrin, nobody would guess 2 different things, except you seem to be a little bit alarmed by that fact since you had pointed it out originally. These aren't just Perrin, are they?
Well, I would assume no.
But
Attacking strangers.
my apologies. Because obviously Doxy's newer to the world than my other 2 campaigns. Perrin refers to not only the race, but also the nation. So by him saying they're not just Perrin, are they? He means not just the race of Perrin, meaning they're most likely also of the nation of Perrin.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. The Paradel, the culture of Paradel, they name things ambiguously, intentionally. They try to make it so the waters are always muddied, so you can never easily associate it. It's their tactic. It's annoying. But hey, I invented them. Of course they're annoying. Go ahead. They're not just Perrin, are they?
Sorry. No. No, I don't think so.
Are we all there?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
I would try to politely excuse myself out of the room without like pulling any attention.
The stew gave him gas.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I want to go and make sure that the book I found is not where it should be. Like I want to hide it. So that we have access to it and not them.
I just assumed you grabbed all 7 of those books and kept them on, like in a pack or on your
Yeah,
person.
I didn't assume that, but I would like them not to have access to them. Like if they decide we're going to go and do an investigation.
You are perfectly fine. Again, if that's what your character would do, I assume that your character would have either put them somewhere for taking in the future or have already placed them in your pack. So I'm fine with
I mean,
that.
I probably couldn't carry some
That's true.
30-pound gnome. But
You guys imagine Josh in high school? He was one of those cool kids that kept them all in the locker.
excuse me, I was normal height when I was a freshman, and then everyone just kept growing. All right. All right. It was.
Did you have to step on your date's feet at all the school dances?
The only person I ever dated is my wife. So.
Oh, and she's short, isn't
That's
she?
so sweet.
Yeah, she's just 1 inch shorter than me, so I can be a man.
Unless she's wearing heels.
Oh my god, it's so good. No, it's not. I'm confident in my sexuality. I don't care.
I bet
I'll just
she
wear
looks
heels too.
Great in heels.
like Tom Cruise. It's all good. It's all good. Tom Cruise made it cool.
Those are platformers, sir.
Actually, you're from the south. You could just wear
Platformer is a video
boots.
game.
But I don't know. I just like wear my boots and stuff.
It's not that south.
Anyway, I would say no. And be sitting there.
Okay. So yeah, parent, you said no, and he goes. So we think Paradise soldiers are here. Now the question is, are they here by invitation, or are they here under the disguise? There's a way, of course, that we can get this information. It would be to interrogate the person that would know best. Unfortunately, he is dead. So, since you clearly, as you were describing earlier, had just arrived in town, we are, of course, going to check with the guards at the gates to confirm that, well, the gates, you know, the guards that may have seen you along the way to confirm that this is true, and very likely it is, and so we wouldn't have to disturb you beyond, of course, any further questioning to come to a full conclusion. But we're going to have to take in all of the house servants and make sure that we get accurate answers.
Once more with feeling.
I would
Accurate
prefer
answers.
that happened here. They've been through a lot, and I will need the assistance in sorting the estate.
Well,
And normally, these two are the ones that I dealt with.
technically speaking, only the person who is in charge of the estates and owns the servants is allowed to stop us from doing such. So you said that you had paperwork. May I?
I had already given it to them.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And so he'd actually he'd hold it up, but still closed in front of him, and say, "May I?" So to open it and say, "Yeah, of course."
Of course. That's why I gave it to you.
Josh, I don't remember what you rolled, but here we go, boyo.
It was like 21 because
was
we
20.
joked about not doing
He spends
luck
about
die.
maybe like 5 minutes or so reading it over, and it's one of those like he picks up the coffee as he's reading it or whatever, going over it, and eventually he goes, "Well, it looks like everything here is actually in order. So thank you for your patience as I check this out.
I don't mean to be any additional trouble.
You haven't been in the least bit. You've actually been extremely courteous, inviting, and friendly the entire time. I can't argue with you. If this is your estate, even if only temporarily, then they're your servants. We can make the request."
And we will have a room set up that will be comfortable for both the interrogator and the interrogatee.
Considering your mannerisms, I'm just going to say this flat. I have a feeling that you're not going to appreciate us using our typical methods of interrogation, are you?
Absolutely not.
If you don't mind, my lady, I'm assuming it's getting dark now.
Yeah, it's dark.
It's been dark for a hot minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say
Cold second.
we're quite adept at also doing research and finding things. And I'll snap my fingers and a candle, a floating light will appear above the document. Say, I'm willing to help you whenever you, in any way that you might need.
He looks to, he hears you say that, and then he, instead of like any gesture or anything back to you, he looks back to Doxy. So he just doesn't say anything. Not Doxy, Chris, you know. Looks through the fourth wall.
He is quite skilled.
It's your estate. I have to investigate to the fullest abilities that I have for the death of the two guards, but the damage to the property that is on your estates, the death of one of your servants, and so on. If you would like to have him assist, I'll take the assistance.
Of course.
He'll say, very well then, whatever you can discover, please feel free to do so. We'll start the investigation with them tonight, but it is a bit late, so we probably won't be able to get through all of them. We all
Would
do
you like
have
a
our
room
own.
made up so that you can start fresh in the morning?
We all live in the town, and we'd probably like to see our families, he says to the others. You know, there's varying degrees of agreement on that one, but...
Chrisellen lets her face very subtly fall when he implies that he has a wife.
Ah, gotcha. He never said wife, did he? But
Or
anyways.
husband.
So he's into sheep, actually. He's really into sheep. Yeah. No.
Chrisellen's face really falls.
She's like, but I could be a bad girl.
No. She's just like, even entertaining this idea. Ugh.
Movie, aren't we all, says Gochira. So, moving on. So, so he's like, we'll investigate one or two of them if you have suggestions as to where we should start. And then moving forward, we will take care of the rest of it tomorrow.
As you like, let me know if I can be of assistance. Until then, I need to address our own matters here.
The best way you can be of assistance, of course, aside from being as out of the way as you can while we're investigating them, is anything that you do discover or recall yourselves. If you can just sit down with one of the two gentlemen that are joining me today or will be joining me tomorrow, and give them a full report as to what it is that happened. Okay.
I should go first. Then
there's actually two of them, so you can take turns. And Chris, may I call you that?
Luthera.
Luthera. Goddamn, Luthi.
You'll get it.
I forget the fake name used for me.
Davidin.
Davidin. Okay. And I will also say, while they're both there, I'll say, my talents lie in researching and finding errors with paperwork. While there is a ton of paperwork here to go through, I think it'd be pertinent if I have access to the shipyard's paperwork as well. If I was to undermine or double book documentation,
I'm going to
that's where I would
interrupt you
hide
for
it.
a moment. Again, whereas we do need to look into details such as this, you don't need to ask us permission to look through the estate's.
What's more with feeling?
That's
The shipyard
their business.
falls under the estate.
There's a lot of things that fell under his, and so therefore under Luthera's command at the moment.
I'm sorry.
I feel
Legalities.
like you would have fully understood that because we would have included it in the will.
Oh, that's fair. Like if they would have been listed off the states that in the will, then I would have known. But
So just to be clear, because perhaps you're not fully aware of all the properties that he happened to own here. He did, of course, own this property here. He, of course, had ships that worked out of the docks.
No, the ash in this house is just atrocious right now.
yes, I'm sorry about the stew. The smell
need
of the
some
burning
water.
stew on the.
If you need some water, we can go get some water. That would be.
I swear it's not throw up.
It was the tiniest piece of like lettuce from what I was eating there. That was fun. Anyways, so excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, he it says not only does this estate here and the ships that he has down at the docks, he actually owns his own dock as well. There's often times there's no ship docks there. Sometimes there is. Again, we don't really look into such matters. They're his. He not only does he control the slave trade that happens to be in the city, he owns the building where the slave trade is taken care of. Now, he doesn't own the slave trade business. That is just one that he handles for another person. He actually runs it and owns the building where it takes place during the bit of the marketplace. He has a couple of other endeavors in town as well. Sorry. He has a couple of other endeavors in town as well. Small shops, nothing that really is worth noting, but nonetheless, if you were looking into everything, there's a lot for you to investigate.
I sigh, and I look to Oscar. Just like, oh god, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, Oscar just nods at you and just says, I'll give a quick account as well.
Davidin, Credence, do be thorough.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it started on a sunny morning. No.
Moving on. So, Doxy, just to be clear, who are the 1 or 2 servants you want him to interrogate tonight? If anybody specifically comes to mind.
I would ask them to volunteer and say that any harm that comes to them will come to those guards threefold.
Was there anybody that you didn't specifically want them to investigate tonight that you would try to dissuade?
No.
Okay.
Whoever volunteered would go.
Then, same as before, one of the first people to volunteer, 2 would volunteer, would actually be the chef, and that same girl that volunteered to help out beforehand when she was offered to help out with Laszlo. So the 2 of them would be removed from everybody else, sent to a private location, whatever room you'd like it to be, not a big deal, where he can investigate them to find out all the details that he can from them. So he would investigate, her first, or the chef first, doesn't really matter. They pull them both aside. As many hours pass, it gets late into the night where it's like close to, say, midnight, maybe even afterwards. You guys don't have clocks, so you don't really know. And so, again, sorry. So he eventually comes out and he says, interesting things were discovered. Of course, as part of all the investigations going on, I will need to look into everything that I possibly can to make sure I get to the bottom of it all. That, of course, includes, Luthira, the documents that were showed to your friend Duncan, or whatever his name is, earlier today.
Of course.
Sorry. I can't get rid of this tickle.
Go get some water.
Yeah, go grab some water, Scott.
You know what? Before we do the next day of RP, why don't we take a quick break?
Okay.
That sounds like a good plan.
The quietest outro.